Hello and welcome to today's historic best of 3 deck check and gameplay video on Soldier Tribal. Soldier Tribal, if we had to be entirely honest, at this stage only has a couple of really practical soldier cards and soldier payoffs, in cards like Harbin, which enjoys soldiers attacking, or the Siege Veteran that sort of gives you insurance for your soldiers. And I guess if you want to include the Fortified Beachhead, which is kind of nice, it does sort of count. But really, until we get more soldier cards and soldier payoff cards, really the deck is more so of a human deck. And in that respect, we use a lot of the sort of known, or a couple of the, like, just good humans around here. Like your Thalia's Lieutenants of the World, and even the Inquisitor Captains to find the majority of the decks, sort of functioning as a white collected company. And then just generally a lot of good human cards that are usually soldiers, kind of like the Ranger Captains and the Captain Ebonheart and Thalias, who are all just are coincidentally soldiers on top of their human little component. Or we just run other sort of generically good cards like Archmage's Charm for a little bit of interaction, Apparition for some more interaction, the old Takasia's Welcome for some card draw. So that is basically our soldier, or really kind of a human tribal list. The sideboard is filled with entirely unimaginative but good sideboard pieces. Rest in Peace against graveyards, Dovin Vetoes against non-creatures of the world, really. I have 3 Ashiok's Erasers, since for not only for the like combo decks of the world, but also against cards like Supreme Verdict that couldn't normally be countered. Things like Ashiok's Erasers do give you some interaction with that. Running Cleansing Nova as an additional sweeper if you need it, but in reality it's a lot of the... it's there usually for the artifact and enchantment part, because there's lots of affinity decks floating around and stuff. And Cleansing Nova is nice because it gives us the utility. Yeah, it's kind of expensive, but we have limited sideboard slots, so Cleansing Nova in this case is a good value add. And a single Lorn of the Third Path for, again, those loads of artifact-heavy decks that are floating around the format. That is the deck tech for the video. If that, remember to like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you would like to see more, and leave a comment down below or tell your friends about the video. Now, we'll go on to game number 1. And game number 1 with our little soldier tribal list. 3 lands, 4 spells. It's okay, we'll keep it. For reference, if you happen to see me against low players and against low players, it's the 1st of December, or of December as I am recording this, so I'm just grinding back up to platinum. The deck is actually good enough to like sit at that middle point in platinum. You just what happened to see it right now. So I think it's the goblins because I've seen. Pardon? Okay, that's interesting. That maybe it's not. I don't think I know what this is. We'll go ahead. You know, we'll do Fortified Beachhead. We'll just play the Thalia's Lieutenant just to get something on the board. It's not the most impactful as it's not buffing anything, but I think we're going to need to sort of hit the ground running, especially in this. Okay. That's odd. Okay. Spell turn creature name Ominous Traveler. Cast it. Okay, so I don't know what this deck is now. I thought I did, but I don't. So it's clearly going to mess with my brain a little bit. Go ahead and play an Apparition, probably on... honestly, probably on the Astronaut. It's not the most interesting. And if our opponent happens to take the trade with the Lieutenant, it's like, okay, I guess? Well, maybe we don't actually. We don't need the damage that much. Next turn, if nothing else, we can always play a couple of Lieutenants and grow our board here. could play another Ominous Traveler here, which we do know he has. Another trap find. Okay, this is cute and very interesting. I just don't know, like... Okay, that's something. What are you searching up for? So you don't have to reveal it for a good. Yeah. Okay. This is a fascinating list from our opponent. I don't know what it's trying to do, but it's trying to do something. Alright. Are we sacrificing it to do something? Yep. Stab. Wait, did that come... Okay, this is very weird. I'm in it, but yes, weird. Go and play ahead and play the Harbin since we drew it, and then play the Thalia's Lieutenant. Just hopefully giving us a more impactful Thalia's Lieutenant next turn. Right now, we just kind of are gonna sit on this board. Because I honestly, at this rate, I don't even super care about the win or the loss. I'm just like really interested in what they're doing. Traveler. Like, okay, we're doing cute stuff. Socialite, vampires. Basically, it could be a lot of Innistrad cards. What the hell is going on? What is going on? I'm so confused. Okay, so he sacrifices that. I mean, okay. It resolves. Okay. What the fuck is going on? Like, I don't get what their aim is here. Oh, right, Ash on his altar doesn't have to tap that cost. Because there's no red mana, so I'm not about to get grape shotted. Turn. It's the battlefield draft card. Cast it, return the card. Like, okay, I guess that's a little annoying. But the thing you play doesn't have haste, is it? It's the battlefield. Can you control the target? Vampire. Okay. What the hell is this deck doing? Is it like infinite, I guess, mana? Okay, let me see. Okay, 3. Not you. Let me see the card, please. So 2, 3. Okay, so it's not infinite. That's not it. It's very cute. I just don't know if it's good. Okay. It's genuinely fascinating. Because, yeah, I don't know if it's, like, good, but I'm enraptured by what this deck is. Or it's trying to do. I can't tell if it's, like, done the thing. If that makes sense. It's doing something, but I don't know, like, what the end goal is. If it's not just, like, use Ashnod's Altar to, like, get Ominous Traveler mana. Go ahead and just bonk with the Harbin here. Because they have to be doing something, right? This is too interesting to not be a thing. We do have another Skyclave. The Traveler. And I took both of your Ashnod's Altars that you've played. That's another Headless Rider, which is cool, I guess. You have 2, 3, anywhere from 3 to 4 mana, depending on how you spend this. At this stage, anyway. Yeah. You only have one vampire, so you don't get to take a thing. Okay, if I had one more soldier, I basically win the game, which is awfully nice. Everheart's pretty good. Okay, so I think we just play the old captain there, attack with the Harbin again. As next turn we will have 5 soldiers for Harbin's ability, being 1, Harbin itself is 2, and then 3 lieutenants are also soldiers. So we will have lethal, assuming they don't have interaction, which of course they do. It's not that kind of party. Although I am beginning to think that there might not be a greater purpose to this. Okay, so you're gonna get to take a thing. Okay. Okay. I can't think of any. Oh, you're gonna sacrifice my. Fuck me. Okay, so I don't have lethal. I had it for a second until the game's like, no, no, no. Which is an option, I guess. I don't. It's like, is that what the deck is trying? This is so weird. It is interesting, but I don't know how. Yeah, because then you're just gonna sack it second main and take all my fucking progress, which is real neato, by the way. Might I also add? Oh, come on, don't be rude, man. Just do the fucking thing. I really am not the biggest fan. Yeah, come on, just do the fucking thing. We both know you're gonna do it, and then play it again and do all that shit again. I was about to say, don't be an asshole. Don't waste my time. I'm trying not to be. Okay, that's something, I guess. We'll go ahead and play the Inquisitor Captain. See what we can find. Probably nothing of terrible note. Another Thalia's Lieutenant is nice. I don't know how we're gonna win now because he's just sort of. He's not progressing the board state, he's just not dying, if that makes sense. So our opponent is just sort of doing things to do them, but with no discernible win con at the end of it. Enchantment enters the battlefield in your control, can attack this turn to the defender. Okay, I guess. Enters loot, discard a spirit, or with disturb, counter, cool, and then zombies are some shit. Okay, there's a Phyrexian Flesh Gorger, which is cute. But no, he's just doing the ominous. So why are the Flesh Gorgers in there? Okay, I'm. Okay, okay, okay. Alright, I'm not gonna sit and wait. We're cool. He's just getting fucking ridiculously lucky and taking all of my shit, and he's gonna sack it, and I got a life to live and shit to do, so we're gonna get the fuck on through that one. Honestly, I might just take Ashiok's Eraser. Get rid of the charms, not the most useful here. Neither will I want to give them a staggering insight when they get real lucky. Because I'm almost convinced if I take their Ominous Traveler with a Ashiok's Eraser, then like they almost immediately buckle, I assume. I was fascinated by their deck at first, and a part of me still is, but now I don't think there's a clear purpose to it. In that, like, they're doing cool things, but they're not, like, killing me. So it's... My interest for the thing has definitely gone down. So now we're just, like, wondering, like, the hell am I supposed to do here besides get lucky and draw the thing, if that makes sense. I'd be very surprised if our opponent has a super complex sideboarding process here. Besides, like, bringing in sweepers and other forms of interaction, I guess. But we'll see, though. could take forever. Okay, okay, something's a little screwy, but I guess we'll just have to sit here and wait. Okay, I might actually maybe cut out this waiting if nothing's gonna happen. I would like to use this game's footage, because I don't like just throwing away footage if I don't have to. Alright. Come on, opponent. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Any second now. Okay, but that's not them choosing, that's them running the 2-minute clock out. That's what that is. I guess we'll play first. I'm sorry, were they here the whole time? Oh well. Go ahead and Hallowed Fountain untapped. Yeah, they were here the whole time. They just ran it for 2 minutes. It's cool. A little fucked up, but I've done the same thing because I've had bio breaks that needed to happen and stuff. So, okay, fine. We'll play the Thalia first. Probably play a Harbin next turn. Try and get a relatively big board for Thalia's Lieutenant. Yeah, doesn't really attack, and probably shouldn't. I think the plan is still basically the same. Gonna try and push him damage to end the game. I know he wants the Trap Finder to die, but I just kind of want to end this game kind of quickly. As they're gonna more than likely just really gum up the board and make life a pain in the butt. Hi, sweetheart. Wanna come hang out with Dad? Come on! Come on! What? What? Come lie down. Lie down. It's alright. Now, what does it pay life equal to the... Okay, that's fine. I'll happily pay to get that off the board. So we'll go ahead and Skyclave down the Flesh Gorger. I'll gladly pay the life for that. Yeah, we have one little tiny furry cat. Little tiny fuzzy baby girl. If we draw land, we could Siege Veteran and Thalia's. Okay, there's an Ashnod. Staggering Insight. Maybe. And we'll do the Siege Veteran first. Why not? This will give our creatures some resiliency if they choose to like interact with our board. In that, the Siege Veteran will sort of replace at least the soldiers anyway. The Skyclave is not so lucky. That's a very aggressive shock. Like, okay, that's cute. Okay, I still don't know if that's... Sorry? Oh, yeah, that does. It keeps its abilities and types. That's good to know. I did not know that's how that interaction worked. Oh god, they just spin their fucking wheels for like a really long time now. So I guess they're gonna, what, try and get a whole bunch of 2-cost ones and just make a big, little scary board. What sacrifices the Geist or does the Traveler or something. It's interesting. I just don't know if it's good. Okay, if we draw land, we can Insight and Thalia's Lieutenant, which I think will give us lethal. Well, okay, if he eats the Geist, we can push through. If we don't draw land, then I think we just play the Insight on Harbin anyway. And maybe we actually would do a couple Thalia's Lieutenants, actually. Now that we drew 2. And basically force the block, right? Yeah, yep. That's getting big. Survive. I can actually start growing Thalia as a secondary threat, since first strike means that next turn I should be able to give it another counter, all things assuming, so it can go toe-to-toe with the big old illusion. Alright. Our opponent has to basically... I mean, they've shown that they have interaction, but they have to interact with us, otherwise they just kind of die. Are you going to steal another creature and then sack it and do the Ashnod and all that goofy shit? Okay. Sorry, what? Why did that have haste? Oh, he gained control of... Okay, now I see what happened. Gotcha. Of course he manages to kill the thing, because why would he not? I mean, honestly, I think our plan largely remains the same. Of course, now we're gonna saddle up our really big scary Thalia, which is kind of nice. Probably start growing other threats here. So maybe we'll start growing one of these Thalia's lieutenants. Go ahead and attack, force our opponent to make a block, because if they don't, they die. Which is about as good of a situation as one could hope to be in. Sometimes you just have to make them have it. We can always chump block with a soldier token, if nothing else. Or even maybe an Esper Sentinel. Yeah, I was about to say, they had to have the interaction, otherwise we do just kind of win. We might have actually been able to just attack with our whole board upon further reflection. See, I think, yeah, we just sort of run it again. We didn't draw the Ashiok's Eraser, which isn't ideal. But I'm personally a fan of... Hopefully I don't take another 2 whole goddamn minutes. Because we're already 20 minutes into a game that, like, should be significantly shorter. But anywho, to my original point. I am personally a fan of, even if you don't draw a sideboard card, unless it's, like, truly do or die needed, I'm comfortable enough hoping to draw into most sideboard cards. Because most decks where I have sideboard cards, like an Ashiok's Eraser, if it's not a combo deck, then the necessity for it is nice, but it's not like so much so that I'll go down to like 5 or 4 cards to find it. It's not that kind of thing. And they are guaranteed gonna wait the whole 2 minutes. Hi, baby smoky girl. Where you go? Okay, I can leave Dad. That's cool. Yeah, go and hang out. It's Dad's last day off, so by all means, we'll hang out and go cuddle. It'll be great. We'll have loads of fun cat times ahead. Yeah. Anywho, onto our opponent's deck. Do I like it? Yes. But I just don't see its win con or angle other than just like sort of developing a big board and hitting your opponent in the face, which is not bad. I mean, hell, that's what this deck is basically develop a board, hit opponent in face until you win. It's very old school. I would just argue that they're like, the way they're going about it is like a very convoluted way to just like play an aggro deck that probably has as much synergies, if not more so, because the synergies in that deck are seemingly entirely dependent on what you hit with the Ominous Traveler. And I mean, I guess I'm not like the world's biggest fan of like hoping and praying that a card will give me what a Seek card will, you know, or a draft card, whatever the fuck hell it's called, will give me what I need. I don't like that in Hearthstone when I play Hearthstone. I'm less so, or I'm equally so not a fan of that in Magic as well. Although they have largely toned down these cards, and not that many people play a lot of alchemy cards in Historic, in my experience. So it's not even really, I guess, that common of an occurrence. So, eh. Okay. Oh, okay. Come on, opponent. Please be here. I don't remember that. Wait a second. I don't remember that. No shit, they're gonna play first because they have a brain. I don't think I've ever played a game or seen a game in person or like online where a person has chose to go second or to basically be on the draw and not on the play. It says that there are strategies where you like want to be on the draw first, and like I'm certain there are, because I mean hell, Magic is a game of edge cases. If you like explore far enough in any direction, you'll find edge cases to every established rule or what have you. But I don't. There we go. That took forever. Goddamn. Anywho, all of that aside, this is a fine hand. I don't love it, but it's fine. I can go 2, then a 3, then a 4. Okay, they're mulling down. Oh, please have like a Thoughtseize. I mean, that kind of sucks. It's not the worst thing. I was about to say, I take my 2-drop. Hey, we got the Erasure. Very nice. In that case, we'll just go ahead and play the Beachhead. Tap. There's not really a reason to do anything else but that. There is the Trap Finder. Oh, is the... Well... Besides the Trap Finder, what is the Ominous Traveler the only other creature card in the deck? Because that would actually make a good degree of sense. Anywho, play the Hollow Fountain. Play a Thalia. Try to develop a board. The existence of like Thalia in the deck and, you know, non-creature spells and that weird like discomfort, if you want to call it that, that exists is not lost on me. But the cards, I believe, are respectively good enough to warrant such a thing. Go ahead and play the Siege Veteran. I think, unless you have it now. That's the 3/3 version. Okay. I don't really need to do that much about that. I think we can just sit on the Erasure for a turn and grow our Veteran, because they can't... Oh, it has Menace. That's a fair point. I didn't think of that. The attack... Yeah, I forgot that it had Menace. Amongst that keyword soup of cards. Probably just puts it in his hand. Right, Diabolic Intent. So maybe I'll actually get my Erasure target after all, which is lovely. You know, honestly, I'll actually Erasure that. Because that is equally as important to their deck being able to pop off and do, like, silly stuff. So we'll take that. We'll go ahead and play the Inquisitor Captain. Maybe find a Skyclave would be nice. Hell yeah! At which point we will happily pay the ward costs. Better to just stem the bleeding now. Go ahead and put it on the counter on the Siege Veteran itself. Just trying to push as much damage as we can. They're down to 2 cards, and I haven't seen much in their deck that's going to let them get card advantage. Okay, fine, take some stuff out of my hand. That's not really the worst thing on the planet for me. Kind of okay with that. Got another Trap Finder. Puts the Jengatha in hand. We don't take that. Yeah, we never block that card. That's dumb. Oh, wait, no, that's fair. I forgot it. Sacrifices itself at the end of the turn. That was very, very silly. I should have just did the thing. Is there any way at 5, 8, 9, 10? There are cards I could hit in here that gives me lethal. Because I'll get one more going to the left, so... Another Siege Veteran. Does that do it? Inquisitor Captain. Inquisitor Captain. Almost. Very, very close. But again, we did the correct thing and put our opponent in a position that makes them have to have the thing in question. So if he hits the vampire with with this next one, even then the vampire can't take a blocker of mine, which is useful. I think he is just looking for like bodies on the board though, which is understandable. He's getting it. And actually that champion's gonna fuck the other one. Is this the one that sacks it? Yeah, okay, that's the one that sacks it. God damn. Yeah, alright. You developed a board, good sir. Well done. Jesus fucking Christ. Alright, so Harbin's gonna be our goal this turn. Almost certain that's correct. Oh, it costs 2 less to cast, so we can just keep doing it. That's right. Oh, please tell me you have another... God damn. Okay. Oh, I really don't like having to... 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so oh, and that's only soldiers, right? Okay, we'll go ahead and play the Harbin. We're not gonna shotgun the Hallowed Fountain just because we don't really like the thought of having to do that. We'll put 1 on Harbin and another on the Inquisitor Captain. Hopefully, next turn we can just sort of attack with our Harbin and like hopefully kill them. What does that do? I have to lose life, but then you can like turn the pit fighters into faithless lootings. Almost certainly we'll grab a removal spell for it. Right? That's like the thing you do. I mean, credit given to our opponent. He's doing things. Although he can't just kill it with a fatal push that we know he has in the deck. Because it has killed Harbins before. Yep. Okay, now why was he not trying to do this all along? Or did he just get really that unlucky with his pulls? Like, I mean, that seems absurd to me. Oh, I don't know if that was the... Hang on, I can do something with this. Yeah, I was about to say, I can do something with that. You just die on crackback. Why didn't he use his intent to get, like, a removal spell and just, like... Or that's what I would have done. Maybe that's not even the right way. Oh, well. A relatively interesting deck from our opponent, I suppose. Anywho, on to game number 2. And game number 2 with our little soldier tribal list. Again, we go first because we have a brain. Honestly, not that bad. 4 lands, 3 spells, an okay curve. Not a 1-drop, but we'll take it. We'll go ahead and probably just play the Beachhead and just decline to reveal anything. This next turn we can play the Hall of the Storm Giants untapped. I think we will, because it's another Rakdos-based deck, like a lot of decks are, so we'll go ahead and play the Thalia. And hope that that sort of messes up their Stomp or Fatal Push or whatever thing they wanted to play. We'll go ahead and play the Siege Veteran, because since almost certainly the Thalia is going to die, right? And if they manage to kill the Thalia, the Siege Lieutenant will somewhat replace the target. Kind of like that. I mean, yeah, we did lose the 1/1 counter trigger, which is like, not great, but it's worth it to sort of just get our opponent's particularly useful stuff. Stomps out my Siege Giant. This is a painfully average Rakdos mid-range list, so we'll go ahead and just play the Inquisitor Captain. Just sort of generically being a pretty good card in this moment. They're gonna push something? Okay, a Sentinel's kind of a low hit, but that's cool. What are they holding up? Or have they just not found a target they particularly like for the push? Possibly. They'd have to, and if I wanted to, I could put the Staggering Insight on the Inquisitor Captain next turn. Ooh, okay, they're trying some fun shit. Well, credit, yeah, well done. That's pretty good. We'll go ahead in that case, just try and develop a pretty big board here. Yeah, I guess he could have the Dragon Engine next turn. It would be hilarious, because I've never really seen that card go off in person. We could attack with our Inquisitor Captain, but they just block with the Mishra anyway. If we happen to die from a melded Mishra, I'm kind of okay with it. And I've never seen if they have any sort of effects on the cards. I really hope they do, because if they don't, that's a very, very missed opportunity. Well, they don't appear to have the Dragon Engine. Oh, what a surprise, another Blood Tide Harvester. Aren't you very unique? We'll go ahead and play a Staggering Insight on the Inquisitor Captain. Go ahead and swing with the Captain and our Harbin here. If they decide to double block to kill the Captain, they sure can. It is a thing that resolves. Alright, chump block with the Harvester, which is nice. In that case, we'll go ahead and play the Welcome. Hopefully start, you know, at least going somewhat neutral on cards. Again, waiting to see if our opponent has the Dragon Engine to get the meld going. Very cool. Has to be said. I guess it does keep, if, yeah, meld. Okay, that's unfortunate. Hey, what a surprise. That's cool. I'm gonna try and refrain from being too terribly salty. See what we draw next turn. Good, a land. Very helpful. We'll go ahead and play or attack the Liliana with our Harbin, even though they will almost certainly have another one and do the same thing. More than likely.
Nothing more.
Go ahead and end turn. Next turn, we can play a Pathway and start bonking with a Hall of Storm Giants and nothing else. Pretty useful. Okay, so it doesn't have the Dragon Engine, so I think we're just going to take the hit. Does he sweep a board? Or is he just going to play some dudes? Appears to be dudes. A entirely admirable quality. I believe our original plan of just hitting with a Storm Giant. We'll probably swing with the whole crew at this stage, just because we want to like force blocks. He double blocks with both Bone Crushers. That is fine with me. Goodbye, sweetheart. Again, pardon if you happen to hear my heater kicking on. It's just the winter and therefore too cold to not. You have to be playing something second made, right? Okay, Fable's a thing. That's pretty good. In that case, I think we'll... Might sound silly, but I think I'm gonna get rid of their Mishra, since that's the one thing that's probably gonna pull them back in this game. See what we draw with the Welcome here. Another Thalia's Lieutenant, which is lovely, and will grow our existing Lieutenant out of the range of blocks. That is a very aggressive play, but I think they correctly diagnosed that they are in very hot waters, if you will. Does chump, which is honestly pretty smart. This is the Fable here to probably throw away his hand if nothing will save him. He can turn on the Den to block. Chuck some things away. Alright. A good showing that the deck is pretty good against sort of just generic Rakdos-y mid-range stuff. I think we'll bring in some Glyph Weavers here. Maybe we go down in the Spectres. It's like not the best card in the list. Denix fine. Esper Sentinel's fine. Maybe one Esper Sentinel can go down. The Selfless Glyph Weaver's sort of acting like a Selfless Spirit would in like a Spirits deck. Okay, that's not bad. It's not awful. It's not great. We would love another 2-drop to play, since we don't really want to play the Lieutenant on just an empty board. It's a little too important to just kind of throw the card away. What, Harvester? No. There's a Hall. We're going to keep the Lieutenant. I kind of want to save it for something somewhat important. We'll probably play a Ranger Captain next turn. Oh, they have to be sitting on some sort of removal. That's the only reason they do that. We'll use the Beachhead, revealing the Captain we were going to play anyway. And this way we get a 1-drop for Thalia's Lieutenant next turn, no matter what happens. Go ahead and grab an Esper Sentinel. We don't need to sacrifice the Ranger Captain anytime soon. This isn't like a blue-white control matchup. There we go. I knew something was weird. Hang on, 1 second. Whew. My original point was going to be... this isn't a, like, blue-white control matchup where you can, like, turn off a sweeper for a turn. We'll go ahead and play the Inquisitor Captain. Maybe we find... Well, it's not exactly useful, but we'll take it. And if he does attack with the Dragon Engine, Thalia can actually block it. I forgot. I don't know why I view double strike as a different thing to first strike, but for our purposes in this moment, it's actually not. There's Mishra, but Mishra has to attack. It doesn't give a shit about. Yeah, doesn't give a shit about that. So we do the Glyph Weaver first. And then we Thalia's Lieutenant. They never in a million years... Oh, they block with the Mishra, but it's worth it to see if they'll make a bad block. But the correct play for them, yeah, I was about to say, is to just block with the Mishra. It was worth it to see if they'll do it. Okay, what is the... Choose 3, discard 3 damage to target, destroy artifact walker, menace 2. That's actually not that bad. Hello, child. Meow, you left. We'll hang out until Daddy's done. Oh, please tell me you have an animation. Okay, that's an animation. It resolves. They can make me discard cards, which would not be great. But it's like, okay, we can just get rid of that. So we'll sacrifice the Glyph Weaver to give our stuff indestructible. Now they might do something in response, but that's like fine. This enters the battlefield or attacks, right? Yeah. So they almost certainly will probably have some sort of interaction, which is what I imagine the game is giving them priority for. Be it a push or another... a fatal push, or the Heartless Axe, or what have you of the world. Yeah, that's just about normal. He's absolutely pouring cards into this, though, which I really don't think is a terribly smart thing. I can block it, which is nice. You draw another creature. Okay, Inquisitor Captain. Maybe we can find a Skyclave here. Cannot, which is very useful. Oh, well. Okay, if he attacks, we can technically double block it. But I actually don't know if I want to. Let's see what he does. Oh no, I can't block him because he can just shrink my board, so I don't think I actually block this, right? And they get Menace and Trample, so yeah, I sure as shit couldn't block it then at this rate. Yeah, yep. Probably, yeah, you can kill the Inquisitor Captain, and the Shrink happens, and all that shit. Leave, honey, not now. I mean, okay, credit given, I guess. And another removal spell. Oh boy, you removed my counters. You really showed me. Okay, this dude is pouring cards into this fucking thing. Well, okay, sometimes you just flat out and lose to weird shit. That's fine. They appear to be pretty centered around that, so we can take out some Archmage's Charm. Don't think the insight's going to be that useful, as most creatures aren't going to stay alive long enough. And if we can erasure either one of the pieces of Mishra, if not both, then we're in a pretty good spot, really. Go ahead and play first. We have an erasure in our opening hand, which will almost certainly be taken away by like a Thoughtseize or something. Because when you draw, or when you have your needed sideboard piece against a Rakdos deck, they will almost always discard it. Okay. I'm eating my words, which I'm happy to do in this case. We'll probably play the Welcome on turn 3, just because we're going to need to, like, try and draw some cards. And not just, like, totally gas ourselves. Play the Pathway in white, and yeah, we'll just go with the Welcome here. If he plays the Dragon Engine on 3, I can just Apparition away the card in question. Did sacrifice the creature. Okay, that's not that bad. Yeah, that's not that bad. We'll actually Apparition away the Fable here, because we kind of desperately need to draw lands. An untapped land, ideally, but no, you don't get to be that lucky. It's not that kind of party, sadly. I think we're not that scared of it. Yep, that would have been nice to be able to interact with, but it's not that kind of party. It's so brutal. Child, I love you, but like, I know. Come on, I'm gonna let Dad rearrange himself. I apologize. The cat is gonna demand cuddles and pets. I guess we can Inquisitor Captain and see what we find. Maybe get rid of the Dragon Engine. Yeah. You gotta like decide if you want to stay though. Actually, Glyph Weaver might be the most useful. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I think it actually is the more important of the two. I don't even really have that many. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I want to keep that, please. Thank you. Hopefully he just doesn't have Mishra, because if he does, we're kind of sort of fucked a little bit. Okay, that's a good sign if you don't have it. Gonna need to start blocking stuff, sadly, so we don't die. Yeah. Oh, or does he just play it anyway and I have no input? Yay! I think if we don't draw... Yep, okay. And sometimes you just lose to, like, goofy combo shit because you didn't draw your interaction. So yeah, it's over. There's no coming back from it. Still a very fun deck, and one that I would recommend playing if you have the cards, but honestly, there's not that many soldier-specific payoff cards right now to like really warrant keeping the list around. But if in the future we happen to get more soldier support, I could see an update to this deck. with that out of the way, thank you all for watching. Remember to like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you like my grab bag of content and would like to see more. And if you have any sort of comments down, or questions down below, as long as they're nice and somewhat constructive and, actual questions, I'll try to get back to them. Thank you all, and stay warm out there. Bye-bye.